This is the Iowa Weather Report for Tuesday, November the 6th, 2012. And now our first look at the 0Z GFS Model Run. At noon today, we have some pieces of energy moving across the country, one over the south and east. That'll go on to produce a nor'easter across the New England and Mid-Atlantic states, and another over the middle part of the country that could bring some morning and early afternoon showers across the eastern half of the state. The western half will be dry with some clearing skies there with highs in the 40s and 50s. Wednesday will be a bit warmer as the disturbance moves off to our south and east. The nor'easter looking like it'll be about off Nantucket or Martha's Vineyard. We'll have highs around here in the 50s. Be warming up here Thursday, winds switch around to the south. About 5 to 15 miles per hour, highs well into the 50s, a few lower 60s possible, especially in our southern and southwestern counties of the state. Friday gets a little more interesting. We have maybe a few pockets of shower activity. It looks to be remain mainly dry with highs well into the 60s by this point, maybe nearing 70 in far southwest Iowa. But here on Saturday, the shower chances do increase slightly. Temperatures still remain up into the 60s, nearing 70 in some areas, with this frontal system moving in from the west. On Sunday, the low pressure moves up to north of Thunder Bay, Ontario. A fairly sharp cold front with some showers, thunderstorms, some severe weather is possible, but it looks mainly to our south, with highs in the 60s, cooling way down here on Monday, down into the 40s. So some of this rain, especially in our eastern counties, may mix with some snow, but we're not quite sure what that yet. Severe weather well to our south and east, and a week from today, that trough still digging in, but it's beginning to retreat a little bit as the energy is well up into Canada by this point. But the cold air doesn't really retreat that much. It still sticks around. Highs likely in the 40s for highs here on Tuesday, and maybe low 40s at that as the front moves into the East Coast region. A couple days later on the 18th, well the 17th actually, we have pretty much a zonal flow across the country, a ridge over the western Gulf and into Mexico, and northwest trough. And with that, we have a storm well to our west, a bit of shower activity to our south and east. Otherwise, it looks like average temperatures in the upper 40s to low 50s if this is right. And at the end of the forecast on the 21st, we pretty much still have a zonal pattern. Bit of a ridge over the west, a bit of a trough over the east with a pretty good vortex over the Canadian Maritimes. And as before, we could have a storm just moving out with a little bit of cold air coming down. Maybe highs back in the 40s by this point, but by this point, it's right before Thanksgiving, so 40s is about average. But last night's satellite image showed a disturbance that will likely go on to produce the nor'easter across the south and east. A little bit of cloudiness with the disturbance that will come through today over our part of the country and another over the north and west. The watch warning map from last evening, some advisories along the east coast, which are hard to see with the nor'easter coming through, high wind warnings and whatnot. Winter storm watches up in Montana with some snow, and elsewhere it's fairly tranquil. QPF chart precipitation over the next 5 days through Saturday evening at 7 o'clock, showing the nor'easter producing some decent amounts of rain there, some decent amounts of snow up to our north in Montana and North Dakota, and maybe a quarter of an inch around here.